I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play Moonlight Castle. It's ages 5 and up, 2 to 4 players, and takes 30 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of the game is to collect the most jewels. Zeroz, the owl magician, is summoning them out of the castle, and you're taking shiny pebbles from fountains and having them match the jewels to fool the owl magician, and then whichever one of you collects the most is the winner. For game setup, you have this castle that you get to assemble each time. I'm not great at assembly, and this wasn't bad for me. Basically, the first time you put this together a little bit, and then each time you're gonna have to take the two castle pieces, put them on the sides. You shuffle these tiles that have the jewels on them and put them in here. This one symbolizes the end of the spell, and so it'll be the end of the game. You put that on the very top, and you put the pieces together. There's a clear piece back here that shoves them out of the castle. To start, you're going to, you have to shove it out, pull it completely back. If you aren't careful, or if a young child is doing this, it is easy for it to get a little bit jammed, but it's not too bad. We did this with my daughter, who's almost 5, and she was insistent that she would do all of this. And she did just fine with like once or twice I pulled out the tiles here, and she was okay. We're just gonna play a 2-player game. And so I'm going to take out 2 of the little characters, and depending on how many players you have a certain number of fountains. So with just 2, you take off, they have symbols at the top of the fountains. This one has a moon at the top, this one has a star. So I'm gonna leave those 2 in and take out the other 2. It doesn't matter where you place them. They can hop to any spot in this game. So you can go from here to over here to over here. So it really doesn't matter. There's no starting spot or anything like that. You're supposed to have these hiding screens to put your tokens behind. We generally don't use them because they end up falling over, and we don't need secrets. We don't use it. If you would like to use it, you can. That's what they recommend for the game, but they have a full moon variant, which is what we do, which is where you don't use them at all, and everyone can see what jewels other people have, and it actually can make you be a little more strategic for the game. The fountains also have a backside with a special rule. If you have played the game more than a couple times, you can add them in. They're pretty easy to understand. It's just in the rules. It just adds another element for collecting jewels from the bag. But for regular gameplay, just very much just start with these. You have the person who is the most of a night owl, or the youngest player, just whichever one works best for your group, gets to go first. We'll say this orange one gets to go first, so they get the first player tile. We'll put it by them. And to start, each player starts with 4 jewels. So we'll put them in front of them, well, 4 stones from the fountain. So the idea is you have these little stones, and then you're using them to replace the jewels and fool the magician and save the jewels for the king or queen. So this player gets to go first, and on your turn, you can either go to the fountain, you can go to a white space for free, and the dots symbolize how many new stones you get, or you can go to any of these spots right by the path, but you have to be able to pay to go to that spot. So they have actually a really good move here. They can pay to go to this pink spot. You just pay 1 for that, and you place it kind of by the side of the board, by wherever you're doing that. You kind of have stones littered around. Then you can pay to get, and then if there's any blue dots on the spot, then you get that many new stones. So they're going to get 2 stones. I have a lot of green. And after that, if you're right by the path, you can pay to get the jewel that you're right by. So this is just 1 red jewel. They're going to pay 1 because they can get it, collect it, and this matters because this is how you win the game, having the most jewels. So they're going to place it beside them, their spot where they're collecting their stones over here. And you always check the back of these because usually I don't think any of the ones with 3 on them have an action on the back, but the ones with 1 jewel or 2 jewels do. And this one, whoa, you get to move 3 new tiles out. So that's very fun to get to do. You move 1, and it's okay for them to go off the end of the board. 2, 3. Now those tiles are gone. In theory, they've gone to the evil magician, but the evil magician can't win the game, so don't worry. And that's the end of their turn. It's the next player's turn, and they also have a nice move. They can pay 1 to go to this green spot. They put it off to the side, and then they get 1 because there's 1 dot. So these, you aren't going to get anything if you go to the spot. These you're going to get 1. These are going to get 2 because guess you're right by like a little fountain right here, and this by your medium fountain, and this isn't by anything. So they get to get 1 extra stone. And now they're going to pay 2 stones to get the 2 red jewels. And this one on the back, ooh, you move forward 2. So we're going to put this by their spot, and they move forward 1, 2. So this one goes off to the side. So then sometimes you need to restock, and that's what the white fountains are for. They have just a ton of greens. They can't do anything with those. So this one's going to move to the fountain with 3 dots. If you have a choice, you're going to move to the fountain with 3 dots. And you can only go to an unoccupied space, both fountains and beside the side of the board. So they're getting 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's much better for in the future. And their turn's over. That's it. And this person can't go to the good fountain because it's already occupied. So they're going over here to this fountain, and they get to get 2. And it's okay. You still do fine with just getting a few sometimes. And that's all you do. You keep on going. There's a few specialty rules, like just you can't be at the same spot. If things move along, they can't come over and be in the same spot ever. If the spot below the bridge is ever empty, so in theory, if they had enough yellows on their next turn, they could go here and take this one. Oh, there is a specialty on the back of this 3, so I guess always check. But if this spot was ever empty, then Zeroz becomes very angry and impatient and moves 6 new tiles out. But that's pretty rare to have happen. And you keep on going until this one is revealed outside of the castle. Clearly there's no jewel on that. That's the end of the spell. And so then everybody, you just finish the round of play, and then so everybody has an equal number of turns, and then you tally up the jewels, and whoever has the most is the winner. So that's how to play Moonlight Castle. The target demographic for this game is gamer kids. This is great if you have people who've already played a number of games and aren't going to be put off with a little bit of setup and more involved rules than Candyland. But if you're giving this to someone who's not used to more full-fledged games, you can still do it, but you would probably have to play through with them a time or 2 and get them fully up and running, and then it would be enjoyed and fine, but they would need that to be good to go. The rule complexity is medium compared to a lot of other kid games. There's just a little bit more to understand your first time through, but it's not anything too tricky, and what I really like about it is once you've played once or twice, you have everything down and really shouldn't have to consult the rules at all, and your 5-year-old should be able to run the game on their own. How competitive is this game? It's medium. You're vying for the jewels that are coming out of the castle, but it doesn't seem like it's any kind of mean-spirited competition or any sabotage. There's a fair element of luck with what jewels you're able to get, some strategy for how you're moving around and what you're choosing to do on your turn. And I'll play this with very competitive children. And there's one winner at the end, but no one seems to be upset and say, oh, you're the reason that I didn't win because you did this. It seems to be pretty harmonious even at the end of the game. The replay value is high for the correct demographic. It was a really good sign to me when I played this that my youngest she's almost 5, so this is just right up her alley. And it's been very easy to get one of her older siblings to play this with her because there are some key factors just with the theme and the jewels, and the gameplay doesn't just seem like a baby game. And so they're happy to play with her. So that's a good sign for the longevity of the game. Similar games, if you like this one, Haba also has a game called Dragon's Breath where you're collecting jewels, and it's a little bit simpler than this, but very good theme, still jewels, so we like it. And then if you're looking for something that maybe has a little bit more going on, or you would like a cooperative game, Cauldron Quest is just one of our family favorites, and you are trying to figure out what the ingredients are that you need to create a special potion, and you're rolling dice and trying to beat a wizard, and it's very fun, very happy. But I have been very happy with Moonlight Castle, some assembly of the castle each time, notwithstanding. It is such a fun game, and you should check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.